Hello, we have our French Connection concert this coming weekend, and we're so excited to have a wonderful artist joining us, Daniel Hsu. French Connection, so all the music you're going to hear is going to be inspired by the French folks. We're starting off each of our concerts with a fanfare, and Paul Dukas, who's probably best known for the Sorcerer's Apprentice piece of music that was inspired by and inspired lots of young people with the movie Fantasia. But we're going to do the La Pairie, which is a ballet, as a fanfare from that particular ballet. We have some other ballet music on the concert as well. So that's a short little 2-minute piece to kind of welcome our artist on stage. And we have Daniel Hsu, and what piece are you going to be playing with us?
I'm going to be playing Saint-Saëns' second piano concerto, the G minor.
The G minor?
Certainly his most popular concerto, I'd say. Incredibly lyrical, great characters. There's just a lot of energy and liveliness.
Mm-hmm. Is it hard to play? Is it a difficult piece to play? I think to put it was interesting to rehearse it. We've been rehearsing the last 2 nights. We rehearsed the piece. Without you being here, you just joined us. You're going to be joining us tonight at our rehearsal. It's a difficult piece to rehearse because without the piano, it's very sparse for the orchestra. I mean, but yet when we put it with the piano, I think it's going to really come to life. Is it a difficult piece to play from a pianistic point of view?
That's a really interesting question because I have a good story. I severely underestimated how difficult this concerto was when I first learned it a couple of years ago. I thought, oh, I've heard it many times. It just sounds so fun and easy, and I thought, how hard could it be? I was wrong, and I paid the price.
Yes.
It's you know, there's a lot of runs and gestures and kind of sweeps in it, and I think to pull that off really, really well and to kind of give it that effect requires a lot of time and a lot of work. And to your point about kind of the interplay between piano and orchestra, I don't know if this is a bad thing to say, but almost in some ways it feels like chamber music in terms of the conversations and the interactions between the piano and the orchestra and the different instruments. So it definitely does give off those vibes.
I think it's well written for the piano in that you can hear the piano. If there's so much going on with some pieces, you know, like Brahms' piano concerto, which are like symphonies for piano and orchestra.
Sure.
Balance. Being able to hear the piano and over top of that such big orchestration. But he really does craft it well so that the piano gets most of the time to shine, but also the orchestra gets some time to shine. It's and I think the challenge with the piece, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it needs to sound easy. I think that's what you were saying. It sounds like a fun piece to do.
Totally.
I've had negative experiences with the Grieg piano concerto.
Oh, no.
Pianists think it's easy, and then they come in just unprepared. I've had that to happen 3 times.
Oh no!
But you always have to do your homework, and that's the thing of being an artist like this.
Yeah.
So we have this on the first half, and then we have an intermission, and in the second half we have 2 phenomenal orchestral pieces: Debussy's Afternoon of a Faun and Stravinsky's Firebird Suite. And what's interesting about the Saint-Saëns, Saint-Saëns did not care for Stravinsky or Debussy. So it's kind of interesting to have them on the same program with us.
Are you trying to start a little like
start
something?
We get on TMZ and have a little battle, have them battle it out.
Sure, yeah.
But the Afternoon of a Faun is a piece of what we call the Impressionistic period, inspired by a painting by Mallarmé and also the writings of poets at this time. It would be interesting to hear what this piece would sound like on the piano, because one of the things that it does is it really explores the tone colors of what we have with the orchestra. So we have that piece to open up the second half, and then we have a piece by Igor Stravinsky. Now, Stravinsky is a Russian composer. How does he make this French connection? Well, in 1910, this particular piece, the Firebird Suite, was premiered at the Paris Opera, and so it made its premiere in Paris. Again, one of the truly great pieces, the Firebird. It tells a story. It's a ballet, piece of ballet music, And when we think of the music of Stravinsky, of course we think of the Russian traditions, but he spent a tremendous amount of time here in the United States. And it really tells the story of how the Firebird befriends the prince, and then the prince needs the Firebird's help. Firebird gives the help. The prince falls in love with one of the princesses. They awaken, and everyone lives happily ever after. But the way that he's able to describe the story with the sounds of the orchestra is absolutely brilliant. And all of these pieces are kind of a work in orchestration. He does a thing called thematic transformation, where he takes a theme and you'll hear it first in the oboe, and then you'll hear it with the strings, and you hear it with the brass, but he's always transforming that theme to give it interest. It's a brilliant piece. There are 3 versions of it. We're doing the 1919 version of it, and it's about 23 minutes long, but it's a really wonderful display of great compositional style, but also it displays what a wonderful orchestra we have with the Symphony of Southeast Texas. It's a great pairing with the Saint-Saëns Piano Concerto No. 2. So we're going to have a wonderful evening. It's so great to have you here joining us. Where did you come here from? Most recently.
Well, I'm coming here from Idaho, and then I was in Japan right before that, and then I was in Arizona before that, and then I was in Washington before that. So
yeah, so just all over the place. Is it a tough life? Is it difficult doing all that travel and keeping your chops up?
It does seem more exciting at first. You know, the allure of it seems like it. You know, you're a world jet setter, but in reality, it's a little more rough than you might think it is. But I'm very happy to be here, and
first time to Beaumont.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, great. We're happy to have you. We're happy to have you all to come and join us. So come to the Julie Rogers Theater, 7:30 Saturday night, for some wonderful music of French composers with your Symphony of Southeast Texas.